Hey everybody, it's time for more Paper Perjury. Probably should be able to finish it tonight, because I'm pretty sure Act 6 is not completely out yet. I should actually double check my facts there, but I'm pretty sure Act 6 is not fully out yet. So I should be able to finish it tonight. Okay, there we go. I'm just double checking my info here. I do not see anything that's, I can just click on the page directly and it'll tell me. Yeah, so March 6th, it said that it was the early draft edition, so it's not done yet, so I don't have to worry about that. So we're definitely going to be able to finish Act 5 tonight, though. Like, I don't think there are 2 hours left in here. But I also don't really remember what was going... Can you not load my save? What's happening? Why can't you load my save? Did it? I know I wasn't finished. Hold on. What's happening? Okay. 2058. March 3rd. 2056. Okay. I only lose 2 minutes. So you call with them, meaning you can't prove that even if we did talk. Okay. I'm just skipping. Okay. We're good. In the short time I've noted, I could never see Mr. Eubank as a murderer. Okay. That was stressful. It only feels stressful because it's not over. There are too many lingering questions. We have some time before the plea deal is ready. We should investigate what we can. But we already investigated Eubank Investments. Where else can we go? What we need is information. If Mr. Eubank really is the culprit, was it premeditated or an accident? See what I'm getting at? Something happened in that room that led to Anton's death, and I bet money it's related to the company. How do we figure out the motive? I'm, like, off the screen. What do those two have in common? Let's start from the top. What do those two have in common? They both lead Eubank Investments? If only we knew how to find out more about Anton's business deals. Then we need to figure that out, and I know just who to ask. I think we should talk with Chantrelier. She worked with Mr. Eubank long enough to know something. Your dad, Ash, had been talking to Red. We should see if he learned anything since yesterday. Alright, so that's 2 people. Who else? Besides witnesses, we should also go see Red. If there are any updates on the body, he would likely know. Sounds like a plan. Let's go talk with all of them. Better clean up my notes. I don't need information about the lobby now. Red should be here. Let's look around the station first. May 2nd, Azure City Police Printing Number 5, Presentation Officer. Detective Hunt, are you here? While you two were with Lowell, Ernest took Joy back to Eubank Investments. He did? Why'd he do that? Since Joy is trying to cooperate with the police, she said there might be some evidence that could be useful. So they headed back to Eubank Investments. There's no time like the present. We should hurry. You can certainly go there now, but you wanted to speak to Chandra, right? She's waiting in the interrogation room. Ernest also left behind a gift for you two. A gift? Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the world's greatest illusionist, Maggie Shawn. Annie, what are you doing here? Pick a card and find out. Since Annie worked with our victim, Ernest thought she might know something. Sue, I had the whole trick planned. If you want to deal with our district attorney, no magic until this case is done. Fine, no magic until this case is done. She really wants that deal. So, what can the world's greatest illusionist do for you? We know that Anton wanted to buy the Klaus orphanage and hide that from Eubank Investments. Do you know anything else that could help us out? Lucky for you, this is one secret a magician can share. Anton's plans were to convert the old motel into townhouses, the fancy type. With a popular church and one of the best schools nearby, wealthy families would pay pretty handsomely for a spot. That's why he was lucky enough to get Bill to agree to move the orphanage back in March. Eubank Investments' plan is to get property everywhere in Azure City. He never told me directly, but knowing close-up magic makes borrowing papers pretty easy. Come to think of it, on the day we spoke to him... The motel isn't what matters, it's the land it sits on. It's situated on a property gold mine. That land could be put to much better use. That whole area ought to be transformed into new luxury townhouses and condos. A plethora of Azure City's finest would love nothing more than to settle their families right next to Whitehall. Turns out he did spell it out for us. Speaking of which, what's a townhouse? There are smaller houses that can be bunched up together by cutting out extra space. They might sell for less each, but you can make more townhouses on a single plot of land, which leads to higher profits. Why not make more apartments? You can get even more units to sell. Because apartments tend to be sold to the lower class, and Anton wanted that upper class money. After all, the best way to make money is to take it from those who already have it. That's the magic of profit. Thank you, Annie. If we have any issues with your statement, then we will let you know. When you are ready, we can head out. Alright, let's go hit up Red. Welcome back to Eubank Investments, where we are investing in a beautiful future for you. Hi, Joy. What are you up to? The wonderful detective in Red invited me to help him investigate. He said he could get me out of trouble if I cooperated. But he's currently in the president's office looking around. Thanks for the tip. Since you are helping him, would you help us out as well? Anything for our city's finest. She's such a suck-up, but I do like being called finest. I have something recorded you might want to hear. Okay. April 30th, 7:05 p.m., Eubank Investments reception desk. At Owen's request, Lowell tried arranging a meeting between Owen and Anton. When informed, Anton declined the meeting. He gave no reason why. I should look into this later. Beep! I didn't tell Mr. Eubank that he declined the meeting. Better update her old statement. So if Mr. Eubank contacted Lowell, how did you find out? I'd best keep that information to myself. It's best not to ask. So what stopped you from telling Mr. Eubank when he got here? Because if I did, I wouldn't be able to eavesdrop on their meeting. 2 meetings worth of juicy information to send back to Vivica could help me get a handsome paycheck for her. And look how that turned out. Lowell knew the meeting was declined. If anything else we should know? That's all for me. Your detective friend is upstairs. Thanks, Joy. We will head up there soon. We have a few questions to ask first. So, do you think the Eubanks will let you keep the job? Mrs. Eubank says she will decide after this case is over. But she's a wonderful person. I'm sure she will find it in her heart to forgive me. I'm not going to tell her she fired her maid for this exact reason. Maybe even dropping on Anton is different enough from robbery. How did you get involved with Vivica? She came in one day to have a meeting with Anton. We spoke a bit while she waited. I dropped some juicy rumors on her, and she asked if I could find any proof. Let's just say I know how to get info around here. I'm pretty sure you would have been fired if you got caught, but I didn't get caught until today. Juicy rumors, you say? Like what? Vivica wanted info to make the divorce go in her favor, so anything to make him look like a bad father. The big rumor was about his gun and his small collection of ammo hidden in his office. We didn't find any ammo when we were in there earlier. Where would it be? I still don't know. I had to spend 2 days stalking him just to find something for Vivica. And the best I could do was catch him bringing in ammo and walking out without it. The other detective is currently up in the president's office looking for that ammo. Now let's check up on Red. Maybe he found something. Who knew rumors could help us out? We heard the forensics team were checking Lowell's car. Were they able to finish up? They finished up a while ago. You are welcome to visit the garage again. The mechanic can update you on what they found. Thanks, Joy. We'll ask Meg about it. Alright, let's go to President's office. There you two are. Sue told me the big man himself is being brought in for questioning soon. Hey, Red, you heard right. Owen Eubank himself is coming by. We need all the evidence we can get. You found anything? Not yet. I've been searching Anton's desk. I tried getting into his computer, but I had no luck so far. It's passport protected. There are also some updates on the autopsy report. As you know, Anton Chambers was shot twice, so a gunshot residue was just found on his coat's right arm. The first shot was a non-fatal shot to the abdomen, striking his right rib. The second was a fatal shot that pierced the heart, from which death was almost instantaneous. After the bullets were removed, they were tested for fingerprints. Despite their best efforts, we couldn't lift any fingerprints off either one. Better just update his previous statement with the new info. Fingerprints can be found on bullets? Forensics has ways of lifting fingerprints on bullets, but it's very rare. Most of the time, the fingerprints get smudged to the point it's unusable. They were hoping that Anton, being a gun enthusiast, likely touched it so much that they were able to get a clean print. They almost got something off the first bullet, but no luck. The second bullet had no chance, so there's no way to prove he loaded it. But how is the lack of fingerprints useful? We take what we can get. Perhaps it will come in handy. The gunpowder on his coat is what interests me. Where did that come from? They believe he must have fired a gun sometime before he died. However, we can't say exactly when or what type of gun. There was the bullet he fired upwards in the alleyway. Could it have come from that? Forensics tested it, but it doesn't match. They said the gunpowder only matches if he fired the gun around 3 feet from the ground. Maybe he shot at someone else with a third bullet. If so, we need to find proof soon. If he shot at someone else, they might have the bullets still inside them. Gunpowder evidence should be updated as well. Ballistics also has an update for us. Both bullets fired from the murder weapon entered the body perpendicularly and were close to their respective entry points. I mean, was that not obvious? It's official now. No room for doubt. I'll add it to the evidence. Thanks, Red. For now, let's look around the place. Well, I mean, that fucking chalkboard is suspicious as shit. This Assistant, do you know what's written on here? Nope. It looks like just numbers and shapes to me. When I looked earlier, Lowell said this information is strictly yada yada yada. I bet he doesn't even know what it means. Sophie, help me move this. Yes, sir. Move it over here. Perfect. Is that a safe? I knew there was something hiding in here. But how did you... If he was willing to bring a package of illegal bullets here, he must have had someplace to hide them. And how do we get in? Looks like it needs a code. Justy, do you have any evidence that might help? Evidence to help us open this safe. When I have something, I should bring it to Detective Hunt. I'm guessing I do not have this yet. No, I super don't. What have you been up to since we brought Joy in? I got the case file from yesterday all cleaned up and ready for you two. Yesterday's case file certainly saves me time, but why'd you do that? Something about yesterday's case left me wondering. What was Anton going to do about the flash drive? So I looked over the whole case. Did you find something? Ha! Nothing at all, but something tells me it might be important, so I got it for you two. I'll take it off your hands. Come to think of it, you know a lot about forensics, Sophie. Oh no, I just know what every good detective should know. I doubt it. If Detective Hunt started speaking about fingerprints, I'd assume he was an imposter. Ha! It hurts, but it's true. Did Sophie not tell you she wanted to go into forensics at one point? She didn't. Why am I finding out now? It's not a big deal. I knew I wanted to get into criminal justice, and I thought about lab work. Back in high school, I used to study it for fun. But over time, I wanted to be involved in helping the city directly. Being behind a desk all day wasn't for me. So I joined Police Academy and worked my way to being a patrol officer. But forensics sounds so cool, you should have stayed on the path. But now that you can use that knowledge as a detective. If you ask me, more police should learn forensics. A lot of bad arrests can be avoided if they learn the basics. Alright, parking garage. My favorite detectives, welcome back. Hey Meg, we heard forensics finished looking over Lowell's car. Do you happen to have the details? Sure do. The forensics team looked over the whole car, both the trunks and seats. They found small traces of blood and bits of white carpet in it. The blood belongs to Anton, and the carpet matches the one in his office. Other than that, there was nothing unusual, except this paper found inside the glove box. It has S2021 written on it. Better update Meg's statement. What does S2021 mean? You two are the detectives, isn't it your job to figure it out? I mean, yeah, but why must we do all the hard work? The least Lowell will do is write it down what it is. Come on, Justy, where's your sense of adventure? Figuring this out is half the fun. Is it so wrong to just want all the answers to be given to me? Then you shouldn't have been a detective. After this case, I'm going back to just being a clerk. Thanks for the update, Meg. You're welcome. I've got finishing touches to do on Anton's car. Good luck on the case. What were the forensics team like? I haven't gotten a chance to meet them. Honestly, pretty boring. They only talked to me after they finished up. I think they just needed someone to relay the results to you. They wouldn't even let me look in the car. I only wanted to pick apart his car just a little. Sorry, Meg. The forensics team is filled with straightforward people. They tend to get overworked, so they don't have time to casually talk. Good to know I'm not missing anything by not meeting them. Alright, let's go back to President's office. I've got that fucking safe code. Where is it? The fuck, is it not in here? Forensics found this paper in Lowell's car. Put S2021 as the safe combo. I'll give it a try. Click. Looks like Forensics was right on the money. It's open. Let's check inside. What do we have here? He has his own private collection of gun accessories here. This guy really liked guns, huh? Even as a hobby, this is a bit too much for my liking. But check this out. Leftover bullet boxes. This looks like... Oh! A pack of bullets. That's it? I expected something more illegal. It's because these are hollow point bullets. What are hollow point bullets? Here it is. They create wider wound when they hit someone. Azure City made them illegal for civilians because they can be more dangerous than standard bullets. But politics aside, something more important is missing. This isn't a full package. 2 bullets are missing. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? I think so. Is there any way to prove any of the bullets that shot Anton were from this box? I'll send this info to our coroner, Rebecca. She can confirm if the bullets match. There's something else. A clock? What's this doing here? You know that clock? It was on the wall over there on Sunday night. Come to think of it. I remember now. Joy said she saw the clock was missing. Took you long enough. This is why you're the assistant and I'm the master. Brilliant catch as always, Red. But why hide a clock in here? It's stuck at 8 p.m., so I think it's broken. Someone didn't want anyone to find this. As for why, I'll leave that to you two. I'm gonna write this all down. Better to replace the chalkboard evidence with the safe and update all of it. Going back to bullets, with all these empty boxes, where did all the other bullets go? Got intel saying he would practice at a private shooting range with his gun. Wonder will let something as minor as illegal bullets be ignored. There's some really stubborn gun lovers in this country. So if he does use them regularly, that would explain why he needed more. So why was the code to the safe in Lowell's car? Oh, my dear assistant, you asked the wrong question. Detective Swift, what's the more important question? Let me think. Is it who else knows the code to the safe? Exactly. We can worry about how he knows it later. Someone opened this safe, and so far only Lowell and Anton could have opened it. You think Mr. Eubank? If you don't know, don't speculate. Just keep it in mind for now. I'm going to update Meg's statement. Now that you've found the safe, what are you going to do for now? With all the evidence in the safe, you can say I have plenty of ammo. Ha ha! I'm sure you are just gunning to go after them. Ha ha! Your pun game is getting good. I have no more to teach you. But yes, I want to look into where he got the hollow point bullets. I bet he smuggled those into the city. You've still got a murder to solve. Leave the smuggling case to me. We won't let you down, sir. Solving a smuggling case sounds fun. I hope we get a chance to help him someday. Okay. Let's go talk to Dad. Dad, are you here? Justina, Detective Swift, it's good to see you two. Is everything all right? Mr. Smith, we wanted to follow up on what happened yesterday. Oh, please, we are basically family now. Call me Ash. Harris called me yesterday to explain what happened. Looks like we need to find another buyer. Some legal issues to settle since he signed the paperwork and everything. But thankful Gray is able to help sort it out. Gray? Who's that? Gray Earl, that nice clerk's brother. Didn't you know? Sue's older brother is a business attorney, like Mr. Eubank, but works with all sorts of small businesses. I'm surprised she got you in touch with him. I'll tell you about it later. I better catch you up on what I learned. Gray's been helping me make sure the store can sell after what happened yesterday. He says Luna should be clear from any legal troubles. I really liked Harris. Seemed like a stand-up kind of guy. But I trust Gray to figure that out. Still, I doubt Eubank Investments would want the store. They have no use for it. Glad he's helping you, but I wish you didn't need a lawyer. Let your old man worry about that. You have a case to solve. While you two are here, stay for a while. Serious conversation aside, why hasn't anyone mentioned Sue's brother? You didn't tell me you had a sister until yesterday. It's the same thing. Yeah, but Jean is boring unless you need someone to put on a fashion show. You should try taking an interest in her work someday. You might be able to bond with her better. But as for Gray, best lawyer I ever worked with. Gray must be a Gray lawyer. He has a pretty successful career. I think you could give Miss Eubank a run for her money, both as a lawyer and as a tea drinker. I'm surprised Sue got you in touch with him. Sue asked me to help out for free in exchange for some glass animals. He's a glass art collector. Been here a few times and I didn't even know. But paying in glass is a perfect deal for me. Maybe after this case I should go meet him. He sounds like an interesting guy. After everything that happened with Harris, is it the right time to try to sell the store? I'll sell this place like a rattle on a snake. Wait, what? Yes, I will. I just wanted to say something fun like Harris. I think you are fun just the way you are, Ash. Anyway, I'm sure Harris is already in custody. Our DA is much more interested in our current case, so I doubt she would want to spend too much time on him. Get that settled and move on. Is she really that busy? Up to the roof in cases and can only focus on the biggest ones. Let's take a field trip there. I can show you all the sights. That doesn't sound fun. The law office sounds like the most boring field trip. We have a witness who found out that Anton has been trying to gather property around the city. Anton could have used this property's location for profitable development. He already tried that with an orphanage, and he was willing to do it again here. Which is why we're trying to get as much information as possible. Why would he need property so badly? It shows why you need property. Do I have that? I don't think I do. Showing that off like it's your badge, I see. Of course not. I just wanted to show you the picture. Ha! Sure, whatever you say. Still, I remember when you first got your license. You couldn't wait to have me stop driving you everywhere. That's because you'd always embarrass me in front of my friends. Ha! You know, that was the day it finally dawned on me that you'd really grown up. I still don't really feel like a grown-up, just a teenager with a job. You're still young, that's how it's supposed to feel at your age. But you've got a long adult life ahead of you. Now come show me when you finally get your real badge. Ha ha! Okay, I actually don't have that, so let's travel some more. If it isn't the detectives that cost me my job. How wonderful to see you both. To what do I owe the pleasure? In case you forgot, you're the one who moved the body. We just happen to be passing by. What are you doing here? Just waiting around for all the legal work to be finished. Can't exactly leave the station, so I thought I'd wait around here for a while. You two are welcome to waste your time here. We'll never cross paths again, so feel free to enjoy me while it lasts. And don't think you can get any information about my evidence here. This is a strictly casual visit. I doubt we'll find any evidence here, but if I have time, I do have the option to talk with him a bit. I don't want to. Detective, I thought we were going to speak with just Chandra. Why is Hannah here? Figured maybe her partner in crime could help. As for why I brought you two in, I'm hoping you two can answer some questions. I already told you everything I know about the charity. This isn't about the Klaus orphanage this time. What we want to know is about Eubank Investments itself. Can you tell us anything we wouldn't know about the company? Well, there is one thing, but I can't. I signed an NDA with the Eubanks, plus it wouldn't be right. Eubank Investments has been hit in the red with a capital R. Hannah! You signed the NDA, I did nothing of the sort. If anyone asks, I have a top-secret network of spies that feed me all the information I need. Telling the police is forgotten, but telling friends is not. What do you mean by hitting the red? Eubank Investments has been failing to make a profit for about a year now, with new investments not paying off. They need a bank loan and investors for their new projects, but they need a plan on how this money will be used. The bank won't just give you a loan for nothing. They need to know that you can pay it off or that you can offer collateral. To get the loan, they need property that is worth investing in. My sources found out about it 3 months ago. That's a lot more in-depth than I was expecting coming from you. What can I say? My sources are great. Then you better hope your sources don't get in trouble because of you. Shouldn't be hard to find land to invest in. I can think of a few rundown areas that could use the investment. If I had to guess, they don't seem eager to invest in the poorest areas. My sources said the poorest neighborhoods are risky ventures. Mr. Eubank needs to find a safe investment or else the company's finished. Azure City is running out of risk-free land to invest in, so they haven't had the best of luck. Still has a lot of context. Thank you, Hannah. Tell your sources we thank them as well. I still don't get why banks wouldn't approve loans to the poorest neighborhoods. Surely it's the poorest areas that have the most potential for growth. I might know why. There's a stigma against being poor. Hi, Mologai. How'd it go? Growing up in the poor East Bay, I was told to act like I was from the West Bay in school. My family didn't want others to view us as poor. If I had to guess, that stigma likely applies to bank loans, too. Banks are businesses, but businesses are run by humans. If they think they won't make any money, even for dumb reasons, they won't risk it. Economics can never be unbiased as long as humans remain biased. So Eubank Investments can't get a loan because the bank doesn't think they can make a profit off the poor? Exactly. Eubank Investments doesn't turn poor areas wealthy. They kick the poor out for the wealthy. At least that's what Hannah's sources told us. Can't Eubank Investments get work from the city like 10 years ago? Eubank Investments appeared at the right time to get that funding. Now the politicians of Azure City have moved on to other issues. Homelessness is a major topic, and Mayor Bolton's proposal to fight it isn't popular. So if the city has any money to spare, Mayor Bolton's opponents won't let him use any. I see. I should keep up with city politics. With everything that happened the last few weeks, it seems that you are recovering well. It might look so, but I haven't fully recovered. I started getting seizures, and the doctor thinks it could be permanent. I started taking medication to try and help. Seizures from being hit in the head? The head injury is strong enough, it's possible. At worst, it could be permanent. I'm not even allowed to drive until I can go half a year without a seizure. Lucky for her, best friend Hannah is here to help. Until she recovers, I'm gonna try to drive around the city as needed. May I suggest abolishing private property and seizing the means of production? You can certainly try. Alright, now I think I can go back to the store. Did that actually give me any evidence? It seems that he needs to keep gaining property to keep the company afloat. We believe it's connected to his death. The timing is impeccable otherwise. Do you know anything about Anton that could help us out? I see. I don't know how helpful it is, but I can tell you a story. The full story about what happened 10 years ago. You mean when the store was bought? Justina told me yesterday. There's a bit more to the story her mother and I left out. 10 years ago, Sol and I were looking to start a business and came across Eubank Investments. As you know, Luna was hurt, and we spoke with the Eubanks at the time. Justina might have said they simply agreed, but they didn't. What's that scepter? He's a glass blower. That's glass on the end of a glass blowing rod. As Luna's hospital bills were piling up, Sol pleaded with the Eubanks for support, but they ignored him. He wanted them to pay for the hospital bill and admit they lied about the quality of the building. But they refused to listen. You never told me about this. You were 12 at the time. A simple story was easy to explain. Anton in particular was refusing to budge one bit on the matter. He said it was the building construction company's fault and they were in no way liable. They told Sol that he was at fault for not bringing a safety inspector with him. Sol threatened to press charges against them for lying about the state of the building, and that finally got their attention. Why is it red hot? That looks dangerous. Maybe it's just orange. We spent hours in a single room trying to reach an agreement. It was almost pushed to court. Then suddenly Mrs. Eubank gave in to our demands. She gave us the building and paid for Luna's hospital bill, provided we dropped the case. I'll update your statement. Why did she give in later? Can't say. Maybe it was Justina's mom. She was ready to throw a chair if I didn't stop her. Ha! You would think she was Luna's mom. Anton was not happy, but was powerless to stop it. But wasn't he president? He was, but Mr. Eubank took his wife's side, and that was that. As for why Mr. Eubank did that, my guess is they were married at the time. Of course he would support his wife. Wonder if Anton ever let that go. That's the full story of how we got the store. Why didn't you tell me all of this? You hid these details for 10 years! Those 7 days of fighting weren't all for this building. They were for Luna, too. We didn't want their money out of greed, but to have them pay for hurting her. But we agreed to tell you and your sister a nicer story. There's enough hate in the world, and we don't want the hate to be a cycle. When all this started, I was sure the Eubanks were kind and friendly because of what you told me. That's why I joined the embezzlement case on my first day. And how were they when you met them? As Eubank clearly was as kind as I was told. Mr. Eubank, he's scarier. A liar and controlling, but I don't see him as a murderer. This whole case, it's so complex. I don't know how we will solve it. Huh. I don't know if anything I told you will help you find the culprit, but if anyone can catch them, it's you. You really think so? You got that fire in your eyes, like a furnace ready to make beautiful glass. I've known you all your life, and I've never seen you more invested in anything like these cases. Even if no one calls you a detective, you are one to me. Trust me, I don't have to go far for someone to call me one, but thanks. I needed that. I'm still a little mad at you and Mom for hiding it. Huh. When you have kids someday, you'll understand. I think that's all we can get here. Alright, so his statement was updated saying something. Who can I talk to that will be relevant to? Any property that's worth investing in? Source found out about 3 months ago. Okay, I don't think I have anything to dispute any of that yet, or explain it. Let's check the lobby. Oh, you actually don't have a statement for me to to do anything with, so I guess never mind. Okay, you don't have anything anymore. You don't have anything anymore. Plans to convert the old motel with Paper Church back in March. What month is it right now? I have no idea what month it is. The plan is to get property everywhere in the city. Okay, let's skip through this. Annie, how do you really feel about Mrs. Eubank? Is that really important? You had some choice words for her during your confession. What I want to know is why. She was always out of touch, privileged to do whatever she wanted. She pretends to be so down to earth, all flowers and sunshine, but she never really understood people like me and Bill. We can't all just follow our dreams the same way she can. So yes, I only treated her nicely for work reasons. Does that answer your question? It does, but I think you're the one misunderstanding her. She really did see the best in you. She defended you because she believed in you, that you weren't capable of hurting anyone. I think if you asked her, she might have helped you with your dream. I think we should move on. So, I heard Anton kicked the bucket. What happened to him? If we knew that, there wouldn't be a case to solve. All we can say is that he died a couple of nights ago. Your statement could help us solve this case. Though you don't seem upset about the news. We both just had the same goal in mind. Otherwise, we were no different from strangers. Same thing for you two, right? Isn't his death just another case to solve? He's right. I was more worried about my dad than Anton's death. Red once told me that we should never treat the dead like strangers. Ever since I took this case, I learned so much about him. The way he talked to people, his hobbies, his family. So to me, this case is like honoring the memory of a friend. I never thought of it like that. Nor did I. It's just some wisdom taught to me the day I was promoted. Once you go free, what do you plan to do? Go to another company and work my way up. Didn't work out for Eubank Investments, but there are plenty of companies to work for. Many of them would love to hire the former presidents of Eubank Investments. But you moved a dead body. Even if you're not charged, what you did is still illegal. Then I should fit in quite nicely with any corporation. By the gods. But don't you dream of doing something else? Anything that doesn't involve chaining yourself to a company? What is a dream? Just a shackle to a future that might never come. If I have to be chained to something, let it be something that gives me the tools to live my life, rather than follow some foolish dream. What do you mean? It's simple, really.
When I was younger, I had a friend who would let me borrow his family's guitar. I would try to play it, slowly learning the chords, the hand placements, etc. My 10-year-old self had a dream to be a famous musician, a silly dream that every child believes at one point. But that dream was always going to be a dream. Few people ever make a career in music. Rather than being chained to that, I freed myself.
Why don't you try and play again, even if it's just for fun?
Because I'll never be good enough to make it worth the time, and if I can't be the best, why go for it? My time is better spent elsewhere.
If Lowell was as dedicated to music as he was to a job, maybe he could have made it. You know, you and Detective Hunt had very similar looking watches.
You have quite the eye. I also noticed the two of us have the same taste. In my case, this watch was given to me by my granddad. He called it a good luck charm.
I don't think a good luck charm would have put you in hot water with the police.
And yet I'll be walking out of here a free man. That's pretty lucky to me.
That watch must be pretty old if you got it from your granddad.
He said it was the first thing he ever purchased with his own money. He worked as a shoe shiner as a child on the weekend to afford it. Some days he would tell my dad and I stories of his hardship of growing up in Azure City. Or the good old days, as he would like to call it.
And the watch still works? That's pretty impressive.
I had to get it fixed a few times, but it still works. Time is money were the words my granddad told me when he gave me this watch. I never truly understood those words until I was an adult. Now I know those words are words to live by.
Okay, you don't have anything, right? Okay, I'm going to do something for myself here, which is take a screenshot of this and then cross off all of the places I don't have to go anymore. So, the station offices I still have to do. Umank Investments lobby I think I'm done with. Parking garage I'm done with. The president's office I'm done with. So all I've got is interrogation, viewing room, and station offices, I think. Is there anything to dispute that?
This is my ID. What do you think?
It's certainly clean, but your wallet is filthy. My wallet? Come on, Justina. You can't expect anyone to take you seriously with a dirty wallet.
I'm not taking advice from a girl who couldn't even clean the mud off their shoes.
That's just mean. Bank loan investors for their new projects, but they need to plan on how this money will be used. The bank won't just give you a loan for nothing. You know you can pay it off or that you can offer collateral. The property that's worth investing in. My sources found out about 3 months ago. Okay, so the interrogation room is nothing. I'm done with the store also, so I can ignore that. So I've got the viewing room with a guy that won't talk to me. The station offices with Annie. A church and one of the best schools nearby. Wealthy families pay pretty handsomely for a spot. That's who he's lucky enough to get Bill to agree to move the company back in March. What do I use here? We're just gonna start pressing everything. I don't think I have whatever this is. It might be time to bust open the guide again. Yeah, it's time to bust open the guide again. Okay. Oh. Oh, so we're done actually here, is the thing. So there actually isn't anything to do here, that's the problem. I don't know what's more shocking, Joy spying on Anton or her being paid by Anton's ex-wife Vivica. For me, it was the ex-wife part. She must really hate his guts to have done that. Yeah, we can't even listen to the recording either. This whole case could be solved. What Joy did was illegal. Using illegal evidence is just as bad, if not worse. Unlike Joy, the police reflect the values of our society. I want to be someone the public looks up to, which I can't do if I start breaking the law. But if you can't solve this case without such evidence, isn't that just as bad? I wouldn't want a police system that can't solve any case. I wish I had the answer, but I don't. But if you ask me, we don't need the full recording, just the struggle. Joy's other evidence was enough to get us this far, so let's finish what we started. Can't believe Lowell helped move a body. I wouldn't do that. The blood and feeling of death all around. Given that we couldn't find any blood in the building, he did a good job moving it. That's not the type of praise I expected. Tampering with evidence is wrong, but doing it right is tough. I should ask him so I know what to look for next time. I would rather that knowledge disappear. It would make our jobs so much easier. You think Mr. Eubank really did it? He's not the most forthcoming, but I just can't see him as a murderer. We still don't know what happened, but I do know something. He seemed very sad about Anton's death. He did, but maybe he regrets it. Only regretting it after the pulling the trigger? Twice? That's certainly possible. If only regret could turn back time. Those plea deals should be right. Come on, we don't want to miss this. Are you sure this deal is worth it? He moved a dead body and is throwing his own boss under the bus. Are we sure we can trust him? Too late now, come on. I really hope she knows what she's doing. Glad you can all make it. Mr. Eubank is in the interrogation room. He will be ready if Lowell keeps his end of the bargain. I will only accept concrete proof. Anything less and I will demand defamation charges against my husband.
I have quite the audience. It's an honor to be the one solving this little case. Without further ado, here you go, a photo I took right after Anton died.
What happened?
When I arrived, it was already like this. I simply took a picture.
If his body hit the desk, that would explain why the phone turned off and Joy couldn't eavesdrop. Where's Anton's body? It's out of frame because he fell close to the door. You can't see it or the blood because of the angle. We confirmed the time was 8:05 that night. I see. I'll add it to the evidence. Mrs. Eubank? If you need me, I will be in the interrogation room with my client. I won't speak on this evidence until then.
Well, I did my part. Now, if you would excuse me.
Mr. Ledger, you will remain here.
On what grounds? All charges have been dropped, remember?
We need to determine whether this photo and the crime scene have been tampered with. Once we verify the authenticity, you will be free to go.
Fine, but everything I gave is real. I look forward to being let go.
I guess that's our cue to head to the interrogation room. End of Case 5, Part 3. Oh my god, how is there more? Oh no, never mind. This is the last section. We're good. Owen Eubank, thank you for being here.
I've been informed of what Lowell has said, and he has lied to the police and has put my company at risk. I am no murderer.
I understand your concern, but there are a lot of questions we need answers to, and we hope you can answer them. There is a perfectly reasonable explanation for what happened. My client was blackmailed.
Blackmailed by whom, Lowell? I couldn't say anything or else he would pin the murder on me. If the press got that photo, my whole company would fall apart, then my family. All I had to do was make him president, and he would help hide all this. But since it seems he intends to pin it on me anyway, I will defend myself.
If you are serious, then there is one key question to all of this. Do you know how Anton Chambers died?
I was attacked. I was afraid for my life. I had to defend myself.
Then that means it was you. Ah, shit. Posture check and hydrate. And a stretch. Fuck. You can't do this to me. Oh, shit. Oh, my God. Fuck. I'm all fucked up. I should stretch more often, thank you. Okay, I'm good. My client was invoking his right to self-defense. One that he would have brought up to the police had Lowell Ledger not attempted to blackmail him. Detective, can he just get away with it in self-defense? The legal definition of self-defense provides 3 factual elements. Justified fear, inability to escape, and using force only when needed. To assert your claim of self-defense, you will need to explain how you have met all 3 elements. That's very fair. That's very fair, you can. Mr. Eubank, the matters of you being blackmailed can be saved for later. My client can satisfy the legal definition, as you will soon see. And let's start from the beginning. Mr. Eubank, can you please explain what led to him attacking you?
Yes, give me a moment to remember. While at home, something important popped up that required me to meet with Anton. I contacted Lowell to set up a meeting so we could discuss it in person. We agreed to meet in order to talk about the future of our business. After I parked my car, I headed straight to his office. When I got there, he pointed his gun at me and threatened me. I still don't know why.
You weren't he wasn't actually told about that. Who said that? Who said it? One of you fuckers said it. Mr. Chambers had no intention of meeting you. You set a meeting with Mr. Chambers, but he declined it. Meaning he didn't want to meet with you.
How did you... I contacted Lowell to have the meeting, and he said Anton was free at the time.
Asking him to set it up isn't the same as having Mr. Chambers agree to it.
If I set a meeting, it happens. He isn't allowed to decline.
My client wouldn't even know until arriving there. We already have your witness's testimony stating he left his house before he was informed.
What witness are you talking about? Who saw me leaving my own house?
It's a long story. Even if he did leave before finding out, what matters is that Mr. Chambers didn't want to see him. And why is that?
You are asking the wrong man. I can't explain his actions.
But he wouldn't have attacked you for no reason. So it's in your best interest to tell us what the meeting was about.
I refuse. I'm here to say my reason for self-defense, not talk business.
If he attacked you, this could help explain your need for self-defense.
Seems I have no choice. Our plan was on finalizing the details of the B2TM plan. I wanted our company to grow beyond the walls of this city, to expand across this whole country. Anton and I both shared that vision for the future of our company. We just had a few key metrics to work out, which we normally settle in my office. But since he had another meeting in his office beforehand, I decided to just go to him. These two seem to be on good terms to result in too good of terms to result in murder. Mr. Eubank wants everything to seem in his favor, but we have evidence he doesn't know about. So let's pick apart his story. Those are the details of the B2TM plan. I wanted our company to grow. Anton and I shared the same vision. That's not true, I'm pretty sure. If Hannah was said it's true, this information could be very important. I should keep this close to the chest and save it for later. Okay, that's not it yet. He did not have a meeting in his office. He had a meeting somewhere else. Oh, that is the previous meeting. It was with... Meeting is on finalizing the details of the B2TM plan. Okay, let's... What is that? What's the B2TM plan? I'm glad you asked. It's the Back to the Mission plan. We spent so long building up Azure City, we forgot our original mission. To build the infrastructure of the world, one city at a time. Why not call it BTTM?
The 2T was my idea. I thought a number would be more fun to say.
Exactly. That's why we are a team. I never would have thought of such a brilliant name change.
I see.
Corporate lingo is weird. It's cute they both come up with a name together.
Has Eubank Investments only worked in Azure City?
Not completely. We had a few projects right across the bay. Nothing big compared to our future. Azure City is the heart of our company, so our attention has been first and foremost here. But soon, that will change.
I must say that sounds quite ambitious. My client has always been ambitious. It's one of the things I appreciate about him.
Our wife persona was totally about to show.
Was anyone else aware of these plans? Someone at Eubank Investments who would disagree?
The B2TM plan is not finalized yet. Only myself and Anton knew about it.
Might you be forgetting someone?
Well, yes, my lovely wife as well.
We were planning to announce our plans once the three of us agreed on all the details. No one else, not even Lowell, was aware.
If no one else was aware, these two weren't the ones to share it. We better move on.
Would these key metrics cause him to pull his gun at you?
Of course not. You think a simple threat would make me change my mind?
My client's story is that Anton pulled his gun on my client without saying anything. If he wanted to threaten my client, he would make his demands clear from the start.
Not saying anything is suspicious, but we can't disprove that. There has to be a better opening in the story.
Did you know who he was meeting with?
I didn't. It was only today I found out he met with Detective Hunt. Had I known, I would have shown up sooner and stopped him.
Why's that? Anton Chambers was supposed to speak with him yesterday. Requesting to speak with him the day before implies he intended to bribe the police. It would only make Eubank Investments look bad.
Anton clearly didn't care about reputation, or if Owen if he was willing to offer dirt on him.
Do I have anything? What do I have? Nope. Okay, what do you got for me for hints? You seem to be on too good of terms to result in murder. Huh. Okay, so this is... I thought I did this already. Yeah, because Anton wants to stay local. Mr. Eubank, Mr. Chambers' actions say otherwise. I'm sure you are aware Mr. Chambers was supposed to be brought in for questioning yesterday. The reason being that he wanted to use underhanded methods to take over the orphanage to build townhouses on the land. He clearly wanted more property inside the city. So we know he didn't agree with you. That deal took place in March. The B2TM plan only started recently.
Yes, of course. He must have changed his mind since.
He never disclosed the sale of the orphanage to you. He hid that because he knew you would disagree.
Well?
Both my client and I were completely unaware of his actions. Had we known, we would have stopped him doing so at once. As far as my client knew, they agreed on this plan together. Mr. Eubank, it seems you and Anton had different views at the company. Can you share how different you two could be? Detective, I don't see how such a question is connected to the case on hand. Your client claims he was attacked, but we want to know why.
You are asking the wrong person, Detective. When I went to see him, he attacked me. The only thing I can tell you is how I defended myself.
He's right, Detective. Why haven't we focused on that? We will get there in due time. But I don't think Mr. Chambers pulled his gun out for no reason. I think something happened in that room that led to Mr. Chambers dying.
Detective, I'm the victim here. I was attacked by Anton, then blackmailed by Lowell. You're doing nothing but digging around in the mud just to get me on a murder charge.
You claim self-defense, not me, but that only works if you are honest. Otherwise, it's just murder. Detective, my husband is no murderer, and finding out why he was attacked should prove it.
Fine. The sooner this is over, the better. business partners. It's only natural he and I disagreed on a few things, but we have been a team for years, seeing eye to eye on every major issue. His data analysis skills were second to none when deciding our path forward, and I negotiated our company to where it is today. That's why I can't imagine what caused him to suddenly attack me.
This is not true. We know it because of because of this one. There is a major issue that you disagreed with Mr. Chambers about. 10 years ago, to be exact.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about Eubank Investments' first project in the Sunrise District. There was an accident at one of the stores, and in the end, the store was sold to Soul Heart. He worked with a glassmaker who told us Mr. Chambers refused to accept any blame. But you outranked him and agreed to sell it at a discount.
That was 10 years ago. How do you know that?
That glassmaker is my dad, and the one who was hurt is my friend.
Our dad is right. I sided against him when we started.
But my dad doesn't know why. Can you explain that? If you must know, it's because I asked him to. When Luna was hurt, Fi had only been a few months old. At first I was on Anton's side, choosing to fight the claims that it was our fault. But hearing both your parents and Soul talk about the injury to Luna, I just couldn't do it. How could I be a mother and tell other parents their daughter's life wasn't our fault? So I asked Owen to try to help them.
Ferris was right. If that happened to our daughter, we would have done what your parents did. Anton was also a parent at the time, but he didn't see it our way. He thought accepting the blame would only make us look weak, which he said is a death sentence for a company like ours. But I trusted my wife more than I trusted him, so I made my choice.
Then what happened? He told us he would accept our judgment and let it go. It was just one building, and the district was big enough that we didn't need all of it. But he never truly let it go, and disagreements can lead to more violent solutions. Don't tell me you think. I'm saying the two got into a heated debate, and it escalated to violence. And escalation is a two-way street.
There's nothing more than speculation. He attacked me suddenly when we were supposed to have our meeting. Yes, I pulled rank on him in the past, but only when needed. And yes, I see him still buying the stores against the B2TM plan. But our company had a bright future long before that night, but when he attacked me, he threw all that away.
That's not true. You guys are poor as shit. A bright future, except that isn't true. We have sources that say the company has been in the red. You needed new property to get more investors or a loan from the bank.
That information is not public knowledge. The police leak that information.
Mr. Eubank, we have no intention of doing so. We only want to solve this case. If you and Mr. Chambers had a fight, would it have been related to the company's financial situation? And that's why you didn't want to tell us.
I was attacked. I was afraid for my life. I had to defend myself.
Stop saying that! He has to say it. It's required to claim self-defense. That said, his lawyer seems awfully quiet. Mrs. Eubank, is what we just said news to you? I did know, but I only found out 2 days ago.
Ferris, you're not going to tell them.
Oh, and I completely believe you are innocent. What happened to Anton was not your fault. But these two are good people, and if there's anyone I trust to solve this case, it would be them. 10 years ago, you trusted my judgment. Please, trust me again.
When we got married all these years ago, I told you there was no other person I would trust with my life. If you believe it's important to share it, then I trust you.
Thank you, Owen. How did you find out 2 days ago? After everything with Anton, I was preparing his defense the day before he was supposed to come in. Regardless of his actions at the orphanage, I was going to make sure our company's image wasn't damaged. That's when I uncovered something.
Our company had stopped growing, with some investments not paying off as expected.
Owen never told me. I handled all the legal matters, but he purposely kept some details away from me. So I confronted him, and we started yelling.
You should keep out the Power 5 overhear them. I told her at the time I would handle it. I had been trying to keep the company going by any means possible. I even started selling some of my older golf trophies to cover some expenses.
Trophies? Surely they can't be that expensive.
It wasn't much, but even a little bit of money helps. Collectors would pay around 1 million alms for one.
What? That's more than I've ever seen in my life.
I had a deal with Appleton the idea, and I was sure that would fix everything. Anton wanted to keep investing in properties in Azure City. We couldn't afford to do both, so we needed to pick one. It was only after the embezzling that I started having doubts, but I wanted to handle it without needing the police. Even after the orphanage deal came to light, I still wanted to give him a chance. We were supposed to meet after everything with the police was settled. Once Ferris found out what I was hiding, I needed to speak to him that night.
And you left in the middle of the fight?
I had Lowell schedule a meeting and I needed to keep it. I figured once I met with him, then I could explain it better to Ferris. But when I got back home, I couldn't let her know he was in the office at all. I wanted to keep my family away from Lowell's blackmail.
Lowell says you offered the job to him. You said it was blackmail. Mrs. Eubank, were you aware of this before today? No. Owen only told me after Lowell asked for a plea deal. Mr. Eubank, what happened when you got there?
When I got there, Anton told me he had to go. That's when I stopped him, telling him we had some important matters to discuss. He tried to push past me. I told him he wouldn't leave until we were done. I had plans set in motion in Appleton, and unless he had something bigger, we were going to present my plans to the bank. That's when he pulled his gun on me. I was so surprised my monocle popped off.
It popped off?
Only my right eye had proper vision for the next few minutes. I couldn't put a new one in, so what happened next is a bit messy. He said, "You think that backwater town is going to save this company? You can't make a profit from poor farmers. So step aside before you regret it. Something important happened tonight that I need to settle."
Better update his statement. So you could have stepped aside but didn't. Why engage him after he pulled his gun? As an exception to the legal definition of self-defense, our country's castle doctrine affords a person a special privilege. They can stand their ground in any place they own, including a place of business. My client was attacked inside Eubank Investments, which he owns. Thus, under castle doctrine, he can continue to claim self-defense even if he had the ability to escape. What's castle doctrine? One's place is their castle, and they have a right to protect it. Applying it to one's company is a new one to me, but that's not the interesting part. What does something important happen tonight that I need to settle mean?
I don't know. At the time, I didn't think about it.
Perhaps we know. Here's what Mr. Chambers considered to be important from that night. His flash drive was fucking stolen. There is one matter he could be dealing with. Harris Newbuck. He used his taser on Mr. Chambers right before stealing his flash drive and running off. If Anton was determined enough, he might have gone after Harris to get it back. That would make sense. Mr. Eubank, do you think Mr. Chambers would do it?
Let me think. I hate to say it, but Anton had a strong personality. But he went to his office to meet with a detective instead of going after Harris. He could have gone back to load his gun, but he only had one bullet that night. And he raised his gun at me. He would have shot me if I hadn't acted first.
Do we have someone's statement that said how many gunshots were fired from his gun? Nope. Let's see what he has to say. Got our confession, right? The only thing my client is admitting to is being the one who started it. He isn't admitting to murder. She's right, and I think there's something strange in his recounting of the story. I think we should point that out first. I swear we had something. Oh, I didn't actually read that. Hold on. Oh, this doesn't count as history. Is it possible to load a second bullet?
He never loaded more than one shot. He was too proud. Plus, his favorite scare tactic was showing that he only had one bullet in his gun. If he was going after Harris, he would likely do that again.
How could he work with a guy who does that? I'd be scared half to death if I had to work with him. He raised his gun at me. If a bullet was missing, then it must have been taken, but this doesn't explain where it went. There is better evidence to explain the missing bullet.
Mr. Eubank, there is a problem with that theory. Anton Chambers was shot twice by his own gun, meaning that his gun was loaded with a second bullet. What do you mean he was shot twice?
Were you unaware the first shot wasn't lethal?
When he raised his gun at me, I fought back. I hit his leg with my umbrella, and while Anton was distracted, fought to keep his gun within view of my right eye. We ended up hitting the wall at some point, then a bang. What happened next, I can't remember. It happened so fast the next thing I knew, my back hit the desk and the gun was in my hand. I was knocked out for just a moment, and that's when Lowell came in. When I checked Anton's gun, it was empty, so I thought my shot killed him. Did you ever check the body? I was so in shock, I just took Lowell's word. My mind was more worried about covering up the shooting than figuring out what happened.
I see why you hid the truth. It certainly makes you sound guilty. But if you only remember one shot before being knocked out, that means you weren't the killer.
But hold on, how do we know he's telling the truth? I'm telling you the truth because my wife says she trusted you two. I have no reason to hide this.
You told me he couldn't remember what happened either. Even if he's lying to you two, he wouldn't lie to me.
Then who shot him? There was only one person who was in the room after that first bullet went off. Between the time of the first shot and Joy arriving upstairs, there was only one person there. Lowell Ledger.
Lowell did it. This whole time! I'm thinking the same thing. If he saw the first shot, he just needed to fire a second shot to kill him. Then he could blackmail Mr. Eubank into thinking he pulled the trigger. I think we need to bring him in for questioning.
That good-for-nothing weasel. How dare he? He killed my friend. He blackmailed me. And tried to pin his murder on me. When I get my hands on him, I'll... That felt good. Now, would you kindly drag Lowell in here and charge him with murder?
We can bring him in again, but charging him is harder. We still don't have any decisive evidence. I'm going to stay. Someone has to make sure you do your jobs right. Mr. Eubank, please wait outside. We will be back here soon.
Oh my god!
How are you doing, Justy?
I think this is it. Lowell's the guy we've been chasing for 2 days. And right now, I'm not feeling anything. I guess my body hasn't processed it yet. Once this is over, we can finally close this case.
Hold on, you two. Before you go in, you should know we checked the photo. It's real. He didn't fake it.
That's good to know, but we never questioned that, right?
In case you forgot, his agreement is that he would turn over evidence in exchange for us dropping all previous charges. Meaning we can only charge him with murder, otherwise he's walking out of here.
So the feeling I didn't have, it's back. Catching a murderer is way above my pay grade. We don't even have proof Lowell killed anyone.
Hey, Sue, can you give us a moment? I do need to get back to work. Good luck in there. I'll get the paperwork ready for when you both solve this case. Hey, Justy, you trust me, right? Breathe in, breathe out.
I trust you.
Then you'll be fine, but no matter what, I have your back. We can do this, partner.
Breathe in, breathe out. I'll calm down. Do you mind if we wait inside for them?
Sure thing.
I love this fuck-ass tea sip animation every time.
Lowell Ledger, do you know why we brought you back here?
What can I say? I couldn't leave anyway. Did things get settled with Mr. Eubank?
It's settled, but we have one more question for you. Why did you shoot Mr. Chambers?
Do you think you're funny? I gave you all the proof you needed. And now you think I committed murder?
Detective, evidence is everything. I expect some evidence before asking a loaded question.
He's the only person who could have done it. Mr. Eubank was knocked out at the time. An excuse you two ate up just like wild pigs. Fortunately, I saw the whole thing.
You mean the shooting?
I was nearby at the time and looked into the window when I saw them. I saw the whole thing from start to end. Only afterwards did I take that picture.
You expect us to... Perfect. Just what I wanted to hear. Mr. Ledger, tell us everything you saw. Leave no details out.
Fine. I'll walk out of here a free man anyway. I looked into the window when I saw the two talking, but I couldn't hear them. Suddenly, Mr. Chambers pulled out his gun and aimed it at Mr. Eubank. Mr. Eubank hit Mr. Chambers with his umbrella, then took the gun while he was stunned. With the gun in his right hand, Mr. Eubank fired his first shot. Anton was hurt, but he lunged at Mr. Eubank. That's when the second shot was fired. Anton pushed him into the desk, and that's what knocked Mr. Eubank. Mr. Eubank is blind in one eye. Do I have a thing for that?
I don't think I have a statement for that, actually. How do you know it was his right hand?
It's what I saw, simple as that. I even have proof. You saw the picture, right? As you can see, he had the gun near his right hand when I took the picture. Must have fallen out of his hand when he got knocked out. Does that answer your question?
Yes, no further questions. If he really is our culprit, he set it up like this on purpose. I swear, did we not get proof that said it was in his right hand? Nope. His monocle was knocked off, but I don't think I have anybody's statement that says that.
Oh, there it is.
The long testimony. I asked for all the details, and he delivered.
Ask as much as you want. I have nothing to hide. After all, I'm no murderer.
If he did see everything, he must have changed something to make Mr. Eubank the murderer. What would he change? The clock is already off the wall at this point. Okay, let's just question everything. Oh, I see. Okay. I understand what it's asking now. Why couldn't you hear them? It must have been loud.
Eubank Investments has specially made offices that work similarly to a soundproof room. This is to ensure that no one can listen in on the managers and the executives.
Both my husband and Anton agreed to have it built this way. They did like their secrets. He has a soundproof office and still prefers meetings at home. If you couldn't hear them, what'd you see? Okay, so it's the bullet report. Entered perpendicularly, meaning from the side, and the first one hit his rib. Lowell, your story doesn't add up. If Mr. Eubank did shoot the gun from his right hand, it wouldn't match with the first bullet's entry point. The bullet needed to shoot straight into his right side, but he couldn't do that with his right hand. And if he wanted to just shoot Mr. Chambers, he would have aimed close to his chest.
I must have been mistaken. Oh yes, I know. When Mr. Chambers pointed his gun at Mr. Eubank, the two circled each other. The gun was in his left hand, but from my angle, it was his right hand. Then everything played out as I said with the two switching sides. My left and right were mixed up, a simple mistake.
Can you go into more detail on what you saw?
Mr. Eubank was facing toward the door with his back toward the desk. Mr. Chambers was the one who had his back to the door. That's why I said it was in Mr. Eubank's right hand, because I saw it on the right side of him. When Mr. Eubank grabbed the gun in his left hand, he steadied his aim and fired. Then everything played out as I said previously.
Except he can't see out his left eye. Lowell, that explanation doesn't make sense. Mr. Eubank's monocle fell out of his eye when Mr. Chambers pulled his gun out. He's blind in his left eye without it. If he was going to fire it, he would have used his right hand. That way he could see more clearly. But hold on, being blind in one eye doesn't make it impossible to fire it. My husband isn't useless without both eyes. But Lowell did say steady, meaning that the shot was not fired as soon as it was stolen.
Don't get so hung up on a single word, he still shot him.
Then let me ask you one follow-up question. Was he wearing his monocle when he fired?
He was. That's how he was able to take the gun and fire it before Mr. Chambers could react. You have my word against his.
Lowell clearly wants his story airtight, and a missing monocle would be a problem. He needs Mr. Eubank to be the only suspect. Lol, we can prove that he did lose his monocle. Here's how we know he lost his monocle before firing. He does not have it in this picture. In this picture, you see Mr. Eubank without his monocle. If he had it when he was attacked, where was it?
Simple, it fell off when he hit the desk. The force knocked it off him.
Then where is it? Shouldn't it be around his body after hitting the desk?
Well, it must be out of shot.
He's right, it is, but I think we know why. Think about the positions of the two. If Mr. Eubank had his back toward the desk, even if it fell out when he was surprised, it would still be on the floor. But if the two flipped with Anton's back toward the desk, his monocle would have fallen off and been out of shot. But that doesn't make sense. My husband woke up after this photo was taken. How did he get there? I was thinking about that. It's basic, really. During the struggle for the gun, they must have switched sides. But how? Mr. Eubank said something that stuck with me. I hit his leg with my umbrella, and while Anton was distracted, fought to keep his gun within view of my right eye. If what he says is true, then we might be able to figure out what happened. If Mr. Chambers pulled his gun out with his right hand, what would Mr. Eubank do? Well, let me think. I have to think about this. If he was using his right hand, he would push it left. From the right to the left. He would push it left because it was easier to do. Easier is not enough. We need a better answer. Remember, if he pushed it left, it would be inside of his left eye. Try again. He would push it right. Aim toward the right wall while keeping it in line of his line of sight for his right eye. It's the only way to line up what we know. He would move around his left side while avoiding the gun. That way he would be behind Mr. Chambers. But why would he do that? Why wouldn't he go for the gun? Simple. He didn't want to kill Anton. He must have tried to restrain him by grabbing him from the back to do so.
Then how did he get shot?
Should have the evidence. Here's the evidence that shows how the first shot happened. We know from the autopsy report that he had a gunshot residue on his right arm. Mr. Chambers would only have that if he fired a shot. He must have moved the gun closer to his right side once Mr. Eubank got behind him, meaning Anton was the one who fired the first shot. Unless you believe he shot himself with the second shot. You proved Lowell lied and explained how the first shot was fired. My client is being accused of murder, not perjury. You still need to connect the bullet in Anton's heart to my client directly. There isn't any proof Lowell even touched the gun. All fingerprints were removed from it, so anyone could have held it. Mr. Chambers loaded the gun with a second bullet to go after Mr. Newbook. And even if Lowell loaded it, you couldn't lift fingerprints off the bullet that was fired. She's right. If we had any evidence, this case would have already been solved. We have all the evidence we could ask for. The problem is putting it together. It's the details that matter, making sure everything we know lines up properly. Anyone could have held it. Mr. Chambers loaded the gun with a second bullet to go after Newbuck. No. There isn't proof Lowell touched the gun. I think that's true. We know he took the picture when Mr. Eubank was knocked out and Anton was dead. He had the means to grab the gun and fire it. Being in the same room as the murder weapon isn't the same as using it. That leaves Owen as the prime suspect in this. He's the one who we know was there when the gun was fired. Playing devil's advocate must be hard on her. But if there's one time she'll be able to be overjoyed to catch a criminal, this is it. Detective, were there any fingerprints on the gun? None were found. They were completely removed by the time we examined the gun yesterday.
I removed them myself. I didn't want the police going after Mr. Eubank after I just got promoted.
And to cover his own tracks. I guess finding fingerprints isn't going to help us here. But we know he only carries one bullet in his gun. Why would he load a second one just for one person? The motive for why isn't important. He was the only person who would have loaded it. So it's only reasonable that he is the sole person who loaded both bullets. Has to be some proof he loaded it. Proof that he loaded the bullet. I don't think that's true. Nope. That's not completely true. Detective Hunt said they almost got fingerprints off the first shot.
That's irrelevant. That would certainly be loaded by Anton. What about the second one, huh?
They couldn't get anything.
There you have it. No proof I loaded it. Of course, even if I did load it, I wouldn't be dumb enough to risk fingerprints on it.
He's just showing off now. Spice paper in the Anton safe found inside. Nope. Checking his a second fatal shot piercing the heart. Okay, hold on. No fingerprints found on the bullets. Okay. Yeah, we knew that. Mrs. Eubank, the evidence doesn't support that. According to the autopsy report, no fingerprints could be found on the bullets. We don't know who loaded them, including Anton himself. What if he only loaded the first one, and our culprit loaded the second one?
What good is a lack of fingerprints? It means you lack evidence to prove I loaded it. If that's all you got, it's a waste of time.
Must be something I can do with this information. Think, Justina. If Lowell did load the second shot, he must have done it after the first shot was fired. So there must have been some evidence he left behind.
Well, there isn't. I'm in the clear, and you can't change that. Mr. Eubank could have grabbed the bullet easily. There also isn't any proof that Anton didn't load the second bullet himself. There was a time between Detective Hunt leaving and Mr. Eubank arriving for him to load it. I didn't know about Anton having bullets in his office at the time, so if I wanted to kill Anton, I would have picked a different method.
That shit was found in your safe, or in your... We know he had the password to the safe, but this isn't proof he knew it was inside. I think there's better evidence to use. Didn't know. Her. Nope. He's right, there isn't enough proof he grabbed the bullet. Let's rethink this. Go back to basics. If he had taken the bullet, he had time to change up the crime scene. But perhaps there's something he couldn't or didn't change that goes against the facts. She's right, what couldn't he change? The clock? Question mark? Oh, doy. Yeah, hold on. His shit's in a safe. That isn't true, Lowell. He doesn't keep all his bullets in an open space. When we went back to the president's office, we found a safe behind the blackboard. When we looked inside, we found that's where he keeps his gun accessories. We even found a pack of bullets with 2 bullets missing.
What are you getting at?
He puts his bullets in his safe. No one should have had access to them. Unless someone took them out. Someone grabbed the bullets from the safe to kill Mr. Chambers. And since Mr. Chambers didn't kill himself, when Mr. Eubank was knocked out, that leaves only you.
But that was Mr. Chambers' safe. I couldn't access it.
We have evidence that states otherwise. Here's how we know you could access the safe. According to the mechanic, there was a piece of paper with S2021 written on it, which is the exact code for the safe. Care to explain why it was in your car, Lowell?
And where does it say it's a safe code? You're the one saying it's a code, not me. There's no proof I knew what those numbers meant. And even if I knew it was the code to Anton's safe, his safe was hidden in his office. How would I know where it was?
You can't expect anyone to believe that. While it is possible he could have opened the safe, that piece of paper is circumstantial evidence. There's too much room for doubt. You need more direct evidence to charge him.
Detective, is she right?
She is. We need to prove he opened the safe, or was the only one who could have opened it.
Oh no, that's all we had left! Nothing else to say? Then it looks like we are all done here. It was fun, but that's all the time I have left.
We are so close. I can't let him get away with this. Detective, there must be something left. We looked over all the evidence. He covered his tracks well. Mrs. Eubank, after everything he did, you can't let him walk out of here. He can't be charged for murder without stronger proof. And with the plea deal, all charges for moving the body are dropped. Legally, you have to let him walk out of here. I'm sorry, accepting his deal was a mistake.
Fucking revoke it. If we can't catch him for murder, then we will do the next best thing. We will revoke the plea deal.
Break the deal?
I must be losing my hearing. Break my plea deal? The deal is done, signed and legally binding. You can't break it.
That's not completely true. Unlike you, I read the whole thing. It states the deal will be null and void if the evidence was tampered with. Tampering with evidence isn't just changing the photo. If you changed the crime scene before you took that picture, it would also be considered tampered evidence. If you read the fine print, it states they have until midnight to determine that. Check your watch. It's not midnight yet.
You're supposed to be on my side.
Whatever do you mean? As your lawyer, I'm telling you the terms of your contract. I'm sure the detectives already knew everything I just said.
Go ahead, do whatever you want with that photo. It's a real photo taken straight from my phone. Nothing about it was changed.
Well, I must have set up the room to look that way, but what could we be forgetting? The freaking Lowell's photo. What is something he would change? In this photo, Lowell would have changed the damn clock. He changed the clock. The clock isn't there. There is something in this picture that's missing. Where's the clock, Lowell?
I don't know. You tell me.
The president's office had a clock on the wall when I visited Anton last week. But today it was broken and we found it in the safe. Someone had to place it there. You were the only person who could have.
Why would I hide it? It was just a clock.
The clock was broken at 8 p.m. and you couldn't let anyone know that. Otherwise, this other evidence wouldn't line up. Here's why you couldn't let anyone know the first gun shop happened at 8 p.m. Sunday night. Somebody about 8 o'clock. That doesn't work. I know there's something I'm missing. Better look over my evidence again. No, okay. What are we looking for here? Because this picture was taken at 8:05. Yeah. It's because of the 5-minute time difference. In fact, Mr. Eubank said something to us earlier. I was knocked out for just a moment, and that's when Lowell came in. But that's not true. He was knocked out for much longer. If Mr. Eubank knew how much time had passed, that would break the illusion. And he would start suspecting you were involved.
You think I moved the broken clock to the safe to trick Mr. Eubank?
I do. Between opening the safe to grab another bullet and rearranging the crime scene, you needed time.
How foolish. Your theory is as broken as the very clock you want to use against me. You left one single hole in your theory. How did it break?
Are you saying it's impossible?
It is, and here's why.
Broken clock.
Only Mr. Whoa, okay. Only Mr. Eubank or Anton could have broken the clock like you suggested, but those two never went near the clock. They stayed at the center of the room during their struggle, nor do they have any motive to break the clock. As you can see, there's nothing that would cause the clock to break.
That's the phone call, baby. I know why. Joy said something today that I haven't forgotten. I heard a sound like something heavy hit a wall, followed by something that crashed to the floor. Then the gunshot happened. Mr. Eubank also said something similar as well.
I hit his leg with my umbrella, and while Anton was distracted, I fought to keep his gun within view of my right eye. We ended up hitting the wall at some point, then a bang.
Seems during their struggle, Anton and Mr. Eubank hit the wall, the clock fell, and then the gunshot happened. We have it recorded, too, with the recording ending at exactly 8 p.m. Sunday night. That's when the clock broke, and since Anton had been shot and Mr. Eubank was unconscious, that leaves you with 5 minutes where you're the only person who could have moved it. Which breaks your plea deal as you tampered with the crime scene in the photo.
Where did you get that? There's no way that can be acceptable evidence.
If the conversation was being presented as evidence, you're right, that would be illegal. Other recorded sounds are perfectly acceptable.
You can't be serious. My deal, broken by some damn loophole.
And since you were the only person who could have moved the clock, you must have been the one to open the safe. Anton was dead and my husband was knocked out. That means they can also charge you for first-degree murder. Once this is over, you're going to need a good lawyer.
No. No, no. No, no, no. After everything I did, damn it all.
Whoa, hey. Lowell, have you finally given up? Lowell, how could you? How could you kill Anton and frame my husband for murder?
I already told the detectives, but I guess you wouldn't know. My family barely got by growing up, and I had to change that. That's why I wanted the job. I never cared about the company, I just wanted the money. But there's one thing I wanted more than money. Power. When I saw Anton get shot, I knew I could keep Mr. Eubank under my thumb. No longer would I be just an assistant. I would have the power to make a name for myself. I went in, saw Anton's body on the floor, and was ready to take the picture. But then I noticed he was alive, bleeding out on the rug. I knew I had to finish the job.
So you grabbed an extra bullet just to shoot him? He could have lived. He would still be here with us today.
Perhaps he would have killed your husband if I hadn't stepped in. He wasn't the type to let things go.
And how did you get the safe combination?
Who do you think has been helping him smuggle bullets in? It was extra work with extra pay. Not even Owen knew about the safe, so it was a brilliant plan. A brilliant plan, now in ruins.
Lowell, I sympathized with you growing up poor. But your selfish greed was not worth a man's life. For that, you will be charged with first-degree murder. Let's finish this case up. After we finalized his confession, Lowell was taken away. After 2 days of hunting for the culprit, the case was finally complete. May 2nd, 7:47 p.m. Azure City Police Precinct number 5 viewing room. I am so tired. Oh goody, I know how to get your energy back up. Hi-yah! I can feel it already, your heart is beating faster.
Not again, too tight.
Oh, sorry, I got carried away. We just solved one murder, we don't need another. Are you gonna do this every time we solve a case? Of course, it's the perfect way to celebrate. Wait a second, you said every time. You want to join in on more cases?
I don't think I could do more. If this is my full-time job, I think I would quit now.
After hearing Lowell's story, I think this job isn't for me. What do you mean? Earlier today, when he told us about him and his family being forced to move, I think he learned the wrong lesson from that. He wanted a better life for himself than his parents. I just wish he used that drive for good. I know he should pay for his crimes, I just can't help but feel guilty. You have a good heart, Justy, even seeing good in Lowell.
You're too good with it for this world with a heart like that.
Oh. Mr. Eubank, what are you still doing here?
Just wanted to see Lowell taken away. After what he put me through, it was very rewarding. As for me...
My client may have been blackmailed, but he's still charged with moving the body. So he will not be saying anything else on the matter until his lawyer approves of it.
Yes, ma'am.
If only we had that power when this whole case started.
But that aside, thank you both for catching Anton's killer. He wasn't perfect, but he was my friend. I wish you could have met that side of him, but maybe in another life.
I hope so. It's been a long day, so we'd best be off.
Until we meet again, detectives.
Looks like you two solved this case. For a pair of rookies, you two punched above your weight and won.
We couldn't have done it without you. Your investigation got us the evidence we needed. But I hope you haven't forgotten our deal. Now go tell the lieutenant about what you did on Sunday night.
Too late. He already knows. Sue told him earlier. He gave me the highest punishment on the force. A salary cut.
Oh no! I hope it wasn't too big.
Ha! Oh, don't worry about it. Us gumshoes know a thing or two about salary cuts. But I have been doing some thinking since this morning. I never should have met with Anton and recorded our conversation. I was blinded in my attempt to prove Anton and the Eubanks are rich elites who flaunt their wealth.
You shouldn't be too hard on yourself. When I first joined you, I thought the Eubanks helped Luna out of grace, not guilt. I only had admiration for them, but now I see how naive we both were. They have their own complex emotions and problems we only saw because we had to push the truth out of them. They are just people like us deep down, both flawed in their own ways. How about you both just admit you need to listen to the other side more and call it even?
I like the sound of that. Besides, this isn't the time for regrets. You two solved the case. Now we can finally move on to exciting new cases.
I need a good night's rest and a cup of coffee before even considering doing this again. In that case, how about we celebrate tomorrow? I think we earned it.
Works for me. 5 cases in a row takes a lot out of a guy.
5 cases in 2 weeks and only now you're feeling tired? Then until then, I'm going home. Not so fast. You're not going anywhere until you finish the job you were actually hired for. But, sleep. You can sleep here overnight if you don't want to finish quickly. Can I at least get a pillow and a blanket if I do? Thankfully, I only needed to stay 2 hours to finish what she gave me. And when it was obvious she was holding plenty back, she clearly expected me to finish up the work later in the week. While Lowell's arrest was the end of that case, there's still a bit more to this tale to share. May 3rd, 8 a.m., Azure City Police Precinct number 5, Station Lobby. Alright, today is just normal. No surprise cases, no more panic. They did say they wanted to celebrate. What do they have in mind? Right on time. Good morning, Justy.
Hey, Miss Assistant.
What's going on? Is this part of the celebration? Now that you are here, we have some news to share. We spoke with the lieutenant, and he agreed to let you have this. Junior Police Office badge sticker.
Think of it as a kind of promotion. We can't make you a real detective legally, so this is the next best thing.
Detective? You want me to become one? It was an idea we were throwing around, but we didn't think it was realistic. What does it take to be a detective? You have to complete police academy training and become a police officer first, which requires passing a written and physical exam. Oh no, not going to happen. Written exams have never been my strong suit. But what do you mean by promotion? While you were hired as a clerk, news spread about you helping solve one of the biggest cases in the city. The lieutenant thinks if you could keep helping solve cases, you should be out in the field more. I would need to find a new clerk, but I suppose helping the public is better in the long term. We don't exactly know what your role will be, but we can figure that out later.
What'd you say, Miss Assistant? Want to team up some more?
Hey, Red, I called dibs on her first. I will be right back. Give me a moment to think. What am I doing? Why didn't I just say no? It isn't me, this whole thing. Hey, Justy, are you okay? I know it was a surprise, but we didn't expect you to run off. I just needed some time to think. I don't know if I should accept it. If you ask me, you're a great help. Why don't you want to take it? It's just, I never thought my life would take me here. I grew up with an artistic family, and I thought that was my calling. I even thought I would take over from my dad someday. But even when I studied art and loved it, it never felt right. So I applied at random jobs until I got my job here. When I was standing outside this room on my first day, I thought it was just a one-time thing. Help the detective, and that's it. So much happened since. Is this really me? Is this my calling in life? Something so different from what I thought my whole life? Was all that time studying art in college a waste? And what if all this is a waste? Sorry, I'm rambling. You have nothing to be sorry for. I'm not exactly the best at giving advice, but life isn't always a straight line. Who cares if you studied art before this? Do you need everything in your life to line up perfectly? Well, no. Exactly. Maybe being a detective isn't for you. Maybe in 6 months you'll quit the station. Then you can keep looking until you find the path in life that's truly for you. But if you don't try, you'll never know. What if I let you down? What if we fail to save a case because of me? What if... Stop saying what if. That's not the Justy I know. When I started having doubts in myself, you believed in me. You are a great detective, and there's no one I would rather have as a partner. The choice is yours, but I hope you say yes. Then, we need to solve an art robbery someday. I can show off everything I learned in college. Oh, a priceless statue where the culprit leaves clues to its whereabouts. That would be perfect for us. But if we don't, I think any case we do together will be fun. That's the Justy I know and love. Come on, let's head back to the others. We still have to put the sticker on your ID. Alright, let's go. While I wasn't made a real detective that day, I was cleared out to help in future cases. I was scared. Starting a new role is always scary.
But Sophie was right. Even if it wasn't my calling in life, I had to try. What lies in store? That's for future me to find out. Epilogue. After my promotion, things remained relatively quiet at the station. Detective Hunt was busy as always. Sophie and I may have finished our case, but something major popped up. I offered to help, but he said, "Cases like this take a while to gather evidence. When I start making some headway, I'll bring you back as my assistant." Suppose some cases can't be solved in a day or two. Miss Earle started looking for candidates to help cover for me while I'm out of the office. But it was harder than expected. I have a few candidates in mind, but on second thought, I'll keep that to myself for now. Chandra started applying for maid work everywhere she could, but she didn't get any offers from anywhere until... A friend of mine works for the Azure News Network. They want me to interview for a journalist position. I have never done journalism before, but it can't hurt to try. Eubank Investments didn't get away scot-free. The orphanage sale was nullified and Appleton's mayor rescinded his deal with Eubank Investments. Eubank Investments had to file for bankruptcy, yet they were able to remain as a company. How that works is beyond me. We filed for reorganization bankruptcy as a means to pay off our debts. I can give you a lesson in bankruptcy law if you like. No thank you. Learning criminal law is more than enough for me. Eubank Investments may have downsized, but it will recover in time. We built this company with our very hands. We can rebuild it again. Sophie and I got to team up on more cases, but none of them has been as intense as the Eubank cases. Which I'm thankful for. Looking for a lost cat is much easier than solving a murder. Our next big case is going to the movies together. We just need to decide which movie. As long as it's not horror, I'm up for anything. But Super Ghost Death Trap just came out. I heard it's amazing. No, never. I'd rather do paperwork than go watch that. Oliver was charged with simple assault and pleaded guilty. It was supposed to be a felony assault, but Chandra asked the prosecution for a lower punishment. One paid fine and a month in jail later, and he returned home to Appleton. Even after what I did, my family accepted me back with open arms. I'm going to restart my cooking career, one where I can keep my freedom and stay close to my family. Fine Toasty were grounded for a month for what they did. It was going to be longer, but Sophie and I were able to convince the Eubanks to shorten it. She did help exonerate her dad of murder. Playing detective is fun. When we grow up, we want to become detectives too. Right, Toasty? Ow. May the gods have mercy on your parents. Bill willingly stepped down as director of the Klaus Orphanage. Embezzlement, while normally a felony, was reduced to a misdemeanor given the circumstances. Because of this, he was allowed to keep his public accounting license and return to accounting. I should count my blessings I was able to go back to accounting at all. As long as the Klaus Orphanage is in good hands, that's all I can ask for. Annie's plea deal saved her from jail time, but she was given community service and a large fine. Ironically, she had to sell the motel to the Klaus Orphanage just to make up the difference. A sale that was lower than what Anton was offering. Now the Klaus Orphanage gets to keep the land itself and never has to move. My amazing magic trick leaked to the press, and now they went full scope with my magical crime. The world's greatest illusionist, Maggie Shawn, will rise again. With Bill stepping down, Meg was given the position of director. It's only temporary. I plan to find someone else who can better run it. I love these kids, but I also have a dream I want to follow. As for a relationship with Fry, we talked things out and are going to rebuild our friendship. We both made some mistakes, but we both care about each other. As for myself, the doughheads are bigger than ever. I don't need your dad's store to show the world my art. My dad was able to retire and now only makes glass at his own pace. His hobby of gardening has started growing a lot since his retirement. It's just another thing for your mom and I to bond over. You should give it a try. No thanks. Taking care of my own life is hard enough. A plant is too much responsibility. Ben was sent back to prison. As expected, he was able to become the prison's barber. He also regained his accent. In prison, I get more customers than you can shake a stick at. I'm also working with a lawyer Ferris set me up with, and it looks like I got a chance to get out of here. I'll be out of here faster than a hot knife through butter. With the sale, Luna started planning her move to college. She's growing up so fast. You better come visit me once I'm all settled in, Jay. I will, even if I have to beg Sue for the time off. I better start planning my trip before plane ticket prices go up. Joy wasn't fired from Eubank Investments, but only because the Eubanks were willing to overlook her crimes. Just like Fi, it was thanks to her evidence that Anton's killer was brought to light. At Eubank Investments, forgiveness is our #1 virtue, and no one embodies that virtue like the wonderful Eubank family. As for myself... May 10th, 8 a.m. Azure City Police Precinct Number 5, Station Offices. Good morning, Miss Earl. Good morning, Justina. We finally got an applicant for that new clerk role. Since she will be filling in for you while you are out playing detective, I want you to interview her. Are you sure? I don't have anything prepared. Trust me, I think you can handle it. May 10th, Azure City Police Precinct Number 5, Interrogation Room. So, what makes you a good fit for this job? I have first-hand experience with the inner workings of this police station. I've even seen the process of bringing in witnesses myself. Geez, I wonder how you got such an experience. Thank you so much for playing Paper Perjury. No problem. This was a lot of fun. I really like all these dipshits. I can't wait until K6 is out proper so I can play that too. I'm going to wait until it fully comes out before I play it, but for now at least, we're done with Paper Perjury. We did it, everybody. Hooray! It took me so long. I'm so sorry, but it is finished. So, thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good night. And we will catch you tomorrow for... Let me see. Tomorrow should be... I forgot. Dead Island. That's what. Tomorrow should be Dead Island. Have a good night, everyone. Bye-bye.